everyone, and welcome to the David Hittle Real Estate Show. I am your host, as always. I am David Hittle, and it is Sunday. It is 2 o'clock, and that means it is time for another episode of the David Hittle Real Estate Show. So today is Sunday. Today is Name Your Car Day. Name Your Car Day um, is the day today, the National Day. Name Your Car Day. And for those of you who don't know me personally, my wife and I named our car Blue, BLEW, and we have a blue Nissan Kicks. So if you have not named your car, today is the day to go out and give your car a name on National Name Your Car Day. Today we're going to talk about why buying a home may make more sense than renting, if it wasn't obvious already. We're also going to talk about why you should consider condos as part of your home search. Good point there. And finally, we'll be talking about how an expert can help you understand Kentuckyhomes.com, all spelled out, Shopkentuckyhomes.com. And on that website, you can get into contact with me. You can also read my blogs about what is happening in the real estate market nationwide. You can get the latest buyer's guides and seller's guides and first-time home buyer guides. They're on my website. And you can find and search for your next home. Not only all that, you can actually get a computerized, instantaneous home valuation on your home. So visit my website, shopkentuckyhomes.com today, and find out everything that you can do on that website, because it is a lot of different things, a lot of helpful things, and a lot of things that can help you make your decision on whether or not you want to buy or sell a home. So if you have been following today's housing market and you've been following the news, you know that two of the top issues consumers are facing right now in the housing market are inflation and mortgage rates. So today we're going to take a look at each one and decide how much they will be affecting potential home buyers today. This year, inflation has reached a high not seen in 40 years. And for the average consumer, you probably have felt that pinch at the gas pump, in the grocery store. It may have even impacted your ability to save money to purchase a home. The Federal Reserve says that they are working hard to lower inflation, and the August data shows that the inflation rate was still higher than they expected. This news, of course, impacted the stock market and fueled conversation to raise the federal funds rate last week. And Bank Rate says this of the Fed, quote, "The Fed has raised rates again, announcing yet another 3/4 point hike on September 21st. And the hikes are designed to cool an economy that has been on fire." So I'm not an economist. I don't claim to be an economist, but when your economy is on fire, meaning it's doing amazingly well. The economy is great. We have low unemployment. We have we had low gas prices. We had low inflation at one point, and now we have higher gas prices, higher inflation. Unemployment has stayed about the same, but it just irks me to no end that we have directives to cool the economy. I didn't think we wanted a cool economy. But again, I'm not an economist, don't claim to be one, but it just irks me when people say we're going to cool the economy that has been red hot. Thought we wanted red hot. So while their actions, the Federal Reserve that is, don't directly dictate what happens with mortgage rates, their decisions have contributed to the intentional cool down in the housing market. A recent article from Fortune explains it this way, quote, as the Federal Reserve moved into inflation fighting mode, financial markets quickly put upward pressure on mortgage rates, and those elevated mortgage rates, coupled with sky-high home prices, threw cold water onto the housing boom. But that's just one impact of what is happening. We have inflation going on in the country, which of course is causing us to have to pay more for the essentials that we need. Everything from groceries to fuel to energy to just even lumber for your fence, lumber for your house, shingles. Shingles are made out of petroleum. Petroleum is oil. Gas prices go up, so too does your shingles. It is all a drip down part of the economy that is slowing down, that they are slowing down on purpose because it was red hot before. But the impact is not only inflation, it is also rising mortgage rates. So over the past few months, mortgage rates have fluctuated in light of growing economic pressures. Most recently, the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage ticked above 6%, and this week headed towards 7%, ending this week at 6.7%. Now, 6.7% will be as high as we saw back in the 2008-2009s, back when we had the housing crash, the housing bubble burst. Now, I personally do not believe that we're going to see another housing bubble burst, and that is because individuals who are living in homes now, their home prices are skyrocketing, whether it's because of supply and demand, whether it's because of inflation, whether it's because of just a growing community. Homeowners are feeling an increase in net worth due to their homes being worth more. Now, this doesn't affect their monthly payment. It doesn't affect their day-to-day lives. But it's good to know that while other areas of our lives are costing us money, homeowners are seeing their equity increase in their home, meaning the value of their home is worth more, meaning they may and should be able to weather the storm. Unlike 2008, when we saw home prices decline and foreclosures and short sales ran rampant because people were getting loans on homes that they could not afford. Today, with more regulation from the government, 2008's housing bubble does not seem like today's event. However, these rising mortgage rates are starting to shift the housing market. We're starting to see fewer and fewer buyers on the market. while listings, the amount of homes for sale on the market, have increased, the number of buyers have actually started to decrease. Now, if this was to continue and supply went above the level of demand, we may start to see a shift into a buyer's market. And this would mean that the buyers would gain the ultimate advantage when it came to purchasing a home. This also could mean that housing prices could start to fall again. That hasn't happened in probably almost a decade, probably since 2008. Since 2008 and 2009, home prices have been rising. So it would be a first for almost a decade or beyond a decade if home prices started to actually fall or decline. What is being predicted is that home prices will decelerate, not decline, but that they will start to curve off. They won't appreciate as fast or as high as they have over the past 4 or 5 years. So the mortgage rate increases this year are the big reason that buyer demand has pulled back in recent months. Basically, as rates and home prices rose, so did the cost of buying a home. That pushed on affordability and priced some buyers out of the market. So home sales slowed and the inventory of homes for sale grew as a result. That's where we're seeing it. The experts say that rates and inflation are here to stay. So here's what the experts say. A recent article from CNET put it this way, quote, as a general rule, when inflation is low, mortgage rates tend to be lower. When inflation is high, rates tend to be higher. So if the Federal Reserve is able to get a hold of this inflation and actually cause it to lower, because inflation right now is at 40-year highs, if they can cause the market to have less inflation, then counteractively, according to the CNET article, inflation being lower should also cause rates to go lower. However, Sam Qatar, the chief economist at Freddie Mac, put it this way: mortgage rates remain volatile due to the tug of war between inflationary pressures and a clear slowdown in economic growth. The high uncertainty surrounding inflation and other factors will likely cause rates to remain variable, meaning they could go up, they could go down. It is all up in the air depending on what happens with the economy. So while there is no way to say with certainty where mortgage rates will go from here, there's something you can do to stay informed, and that's to be connected with a trusted real estate advisor. And I hope that's why everyone is listening and watching today. They, me, keep the pulse on what's happening and help you to understand what the experts are projecting. And they can provide you with the best advice possible. That's my job. So the bottom line here is this: rising inflation and higher mortgage rates have had a clear impact on housing. For expert insights on the latest trends in the housing market, continue to stay connected with me as I do the same thing you are doing, and I shuffle through all of this and try to make it clear to even myself what is happening in today's market. So another way you can stay up to date on what is happening in today's market is to visit my website, Shopkentuckyhomes.com, and you can click on the word blog. It should be up at the top there somewhere. You can click on the word blog and it will take you to my blog. You can go back in time and see where we have been versus where we are now. Believe it or not, interest rates 1 year ago this week were 3.01%. They have more than doubled in a year. So if you were able to catch that train and purchase a home last year, you did a great job. I hope you listened to me when you made that decision. But today, different story. Interest rates are higher, and I can understand the hesitancy of wanting to make any moves. The people that are making moves today, my clients that are making moves today, are individuals who were renting at this number, and purchasing a home would put them at like that number. People like that, they are wanting to buy a home now to get their equity, to get their net worth started, and to get out of rent, which historically has gone up year after year after year for the past 30 years. The good thing is when you go from rent to own, you are stabilizing your monthly housing payment. Rents go up almost every time you refile a new lease. Your mortgage rate stays the same for year after year after year, 30 plus years if you do a 30-year mortgage. But those are the individuals who are my clients today. Individuals who sold their home because they were going to get massive equity back. They received their massive equity. They got their big check for 6 figures or more. And now they have to find the home that they want to live in. While their monthly mortgage payment may be higher, they also have that big fat check that they receive from the sale to help reduce their monthly costs as well. So those are the individuals who are my clients today on the buyer side. On the seller side, it's individuals who need a change of home. Their home, since the pandemic, since the coronavirus, since all that, they have found their home to be confining. There's not enough space. They want more space. They want more safe space for their family. Maybe their family is growing and they need more space. Maybe they want to live in a different area. Individuals who are moving from higher cost areas to Kentucky, to our area, to have a lower cost of living. Those that are able to do remote work now instead of having to actually go to the office. So those are the individuals that are my client today. Those individuals are those who don't really worry too much about the mortgage rate. They are more worried about finding their next home or getting out of their current situation and into a situation that fits their needs more today. And that is why condos may be a good solution and should be part of your home search if you are looking to purchase a new home. The historically low inventory over the past few years has led to challenges for many buyers trying to find a home that met their needs and their budget. If you are in that same boat, you should know the recent shift in the housing market may have opened up some doors of opportunity that may allow you to restart your search. The inventory of homes for sale has increased this year, and that's giving buyers much needed options. Danielle Hale, the chief economist at Realtor.com, put it this way: today's shoppers have more than 5 homes to consider for every 4 that they had at this time last year. But perspective is important. Overall, housing supply is still low. So if you need even more choices to expand your search, possibly adding condominiums could help. So condos could add options that may fit your budget. One thing to consider difference is one reason why condos can be more affordable. According to a recent report from Realtor.com, condo rates and home prices, the affordability of a condo could be worth considering. Remember, your first home does not have to be your forever home. And as Dave Ramsey says, there is no such thing as a forever home. The important thing is that you get your foot in the door as a homeowner. That's what I was talking about earlier. Get out of that rent. If you're renting right now, and I publish it every week, if you are paying more than $1,100 in rent, I have clients that can only go up to $1,500 a month because that's what they're currently paying in rent. That is a nice home, especially if you can qualify for certain programs. You can definitely make it an affordable decision. If that is something that is on your horizon, start saving some money, get some money together for closing costs and prepaids and all that sort of thing, but get prepared to purchase a home and decide today that home ownership is what you want to do and where you want to go. Because once you make that decision, a switch will go off in your head and you will then imagine your future in a home where you are gaining equity, where you have net worth versus you paying your monthly payment to your landlord and your landlord's equity and profit eventually going up. A recent article in the Urban Institute put it this way, quote, because condos and co-ops are generally more affordable, they tend to help first-time homebuyers step onto the first rung of the home ownership ladder. And these buyers often use the equity on their condo to purchase a larger single-family home later on. So in other words, owning a condo will help you start building wealth in the form of home equity. And in time, that equity you build can fuel a future purchase should you decide you want to buy a home with more space or different amenities later on. Condos provide several great perks. One is boosting the number of options in your budget during your home search. That's one reason to consider condos, but there are several others. First, they tend to require minimal upkeep and lower maintenance. And that can give you more time to spend doing the things you enjoy. A recent article from Bankrate highlights this. They said, quote, condos can be a good option for anyone who wants to keep home maintenance to a minimum. If the roof is leaking or the carpet in the lobby needs to be replaced, that's not your responsibility. The condo association handles those duties. Plus, since many condos are located in or near city centers, they offer the added benefit of being in close proximity to work and leisure. Realtor.com put it this way. They said, quote, buying a condo, which is generally less expensive than a single-family home, enables a household to afford to own in the middle of it all, and often means a newer built home with less maintenance responsibility. So ultimately, owning and living in a condo can be a lifestyle choice, but if that is something that appeals to you, they could give you added options you need to buy your first home. Again, bottom line, adding a condos to your housing search could be a great move. And if you are ready to search condos or other single-family homes in your area, you should connect with me today. Let me help you find your next home. And you can start that journey at Shopkentuckyhomes.com. Just visit the website. Put in an area of the city, an area of your area that you would like to live in. Just see how many homes are available. Just see what the prices of these homes are. Stay in tune with what is happening in the market. Because eventually, if that is something you want to do, you want to be ahead of the game and you want to know what you're looking for and how much it is going to cost you. So visit my website, Shopkentuckyhomes, subsection of my client base, of my buyer's client base, are those leaving rent to go buy a home. And this is why buying a home may make more sense than renting. So if you're trying to decide whether to rent or buy a home, consider this. Buying a home can help you escape the cycle of rising rents. The median asking price for rents since 1988 has been on the rise. That was even before I was born. Before I was born, median asking prices for rents have been rising. Rents have been rising aggressively for decades. You think that housing prices have gone up? The chart for rents is just astronomical. It looks like a straight up mountain that you could never climb. And when rents rise, you pay more, but you don't get more. Another reason to switch from renting to owning is that home ownership is a powerful wealth building tool. The average household net worth for a renter is about $8,000. But the average household net worth for a homeowner is over $300,000. Now, why is that? Well, you think about it. If you are renting, you do not own the space that you are occupying. You rent or you pay a lease, but your landlord owns the property. If your landlord decides to sell the property, either you have to move out or you get a new landlord. But when you're a homeowner, that home is yours. If it goes up in value like it has been for the past decade plus, your net worth goes up with it. That's why the average household net worth for a homeowner right now is over $300,000. When you own, you gain equity as home prices rise. And as you make your monthly payments, the amount you owe versus the amount your home is worth decreases. So your gap gets bigger. You own how much your home is worth versus how much you owe. That gap is your equity. And that is a reason why homeowners have a higher net worth. Finally, home ownership is typically considered a good hedge against inflation. A recent study from Realtor.com said that 72% of landlords plan to raise the rent on one or more of their properties in the next year. With inflation being so high and just coming off a pandemic where landlords were unable to evict people who refused to pay their rent, with inflation high and coming off of the pandemic, landlords may be even more likely to increase your rent. Home buyers can lock in a monthly payment for 15 to 30 years. So if you are ready to take advantage of the benefits of home ownership, let's connect today so that I can explore your options and I can get you connected with the people in the financial realm that can tell you even more about what your options are. So please reach out to me. If you were thinking about getting out of the rent game and into the home ownership game, please give me a holler. Just message me here on Facebook. Leave me a comment here on YouTube. I will get back in touch with you as soon as I can. If you are interested in buying a home, maybe even a condo, maybe not a condo, maybe a single family home, maybe you just want to know what your options are, give me a holler. You can message me here on Facebook. You can contact me here on YouTube. You can visit my website and send me a message. There are plenty of ways to get a hold of me. You just have to reach out. And finally, if you are a homeowner and you're thinking your home is not big enough for you, or it's too big for your needs now, and you're wanting to upgrade to get a bigger home or downsize to a smaller home, maybe a condo, please reach out so that I can get your valuation started, get you a presentation started, and tell you what type of value you could see in this market. So while home prices are skyrocketing, that's great news for homeowners, not so good news for home buyers, but there is affordability out there, and there's plenty of ways of getting into a home rather than staying stagnant on the same road year after year after year. I want to see as many of my friends own homes as possible, and it is my mission to help everyone I encounter who is wanting to own a home to figure out a way to get you into one. So please visit my website, Shopkentuckyhomes.com. This is David Hittle with United Real Estate Louisville. I want to thank all of you for watching the David Hittle Real Estate Show on this, the National Name Your Car Day. If you haven't named your car, go out and name your car. Mine is blue. So until next week, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. Please keep up on your local real estate market, what is happening. And until next week, I thank you all. Have a great day. Enjoy this weather.